let's make the jump. Thinking of Simon Sinek's golden circles, how do we use this for the hospitality industry? If we start from the middle and work our way out, start with the why, go to the how, go to the what. What would a restaurant look like if they approach things in this way?
Invest in the service, man. Whoever is in the service.
Okay.
Invest, number one. Make it the center of the circle is the whoever the service is.
Okay.
We would have better experience. They would treat us more well. Like they would treat us with their heart and soul.
Okay.
Be better training within the employees, and maybe do personality checks on everyone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Who would do the inspiring? The owner, the
staff as a whole.
okay, so the staff would have a part in inspiring the guests, the customers.
Yeah, they're the main people that they're the forefront of the company. They're the main people that the actual public sees. So
Okay.
they're the force behind.
The Force, I like that.
Yeah.
Star Wars reference. That's good.
But I mean, they're the depiction of what that company stands for. So.
Okay. Who's the force behind witchcraft? Anybody familiar with witchcraft? Tom Colicchio. Tom Colicchio. You've heard his name. You've seen him. So he's very inspiring in the way that he does things within his operation and within the different restaurants. Danny Meyer is very inspiring behind Shake Shack. Pardon?
Their burger tastes so good.
You like the burger?
I tried it like last week
I
again.
love their fries.
The fries? You like their
Shack
fries?
burger, oh my god.
Good. The shakes? You like the shakes? I like everything. You like everything on the menu. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so we have a lot of fans over here. So if a restaurant wants to approach things in the same way that Simon talked about, they have to start with what their belief system is and what they're trying to accomplish. And start from the inside and work their way out. So if the inside is where you start, it starts with the owner, it starts with the chef, it starts with the key people. And if they're going to believe it, they're going to spread that out to the rest of the staff. And they have to believe in that belief system, that goal, which could be what? What's an example of what that could be? If you're going to be a restaurant, what are you going to be? What is a direction that you could go in that you would want to share with your customers? That you believe in what?
High quality service.
High quality service? Okay, so we are going to be the best in the world at service. What's another thing that you could believe in?
Fresh food.
Fresh food. Good ingredients, quality ingredients. Fine dining, so the finest of fine dining, okay? Eric Ripert and Le Bernardin, that's probably a belief system that he has. That is the finest of fine dining. Multiple sommeliers. Aldo Sohn, who's one of the top sommeliers in the world. Okay? So you believe in that, and then you surround yourself with people that also believe in that or join you in believing in that, whatever that is. Will that work for your customers? Will it work into the how and to the what? If you believe in that as a restaurant, are people going to know? How are they going to know?
By the way you treat them.
So if service is the belief, then they're going to know because it's demonstrated every day that people come in. It's going to be clear to everybody that hears about the place, that knows about the place, that walks by. If your belief system is in quality ingredients, how are people going to know?
By the taste.
By the taste, okay? Because they're going to know, and it's going to be communicated not just by verbally, but also from the actual experience when you go into the place and you have the steak or the vegetables or the salad or the dessert, and you can certainly taste the difference. Okay? If you believe in sustainable products or sustainable existence. How are you going to know that if you walk into a restaurant?
Green options, maybe in the menu or outside they would have a sign, green friendly.
Okay, but that's also signage. But you should experience that. I think one of the important things here is that there's a difference between living it, believing it, and it's clear as day, and putting up a sign or an ad that says, "We believe in this." If you truly believe in it, you don't even need the sign, because everybody will know. There's a thing that we talk about in hotels called greenwashing. Anybody ever heard of that term, greenwashing? Okay, it's this idea, and it's all over. It's not just hotels, but hotels is the example that I'm going to use, where hotels will talk about how eco-friendly they are. And we do this for the environment. We do this for the environment. They have these long reports. One of my students shared in class the other day that they came across this report on sustainability and eco-friendliness for this one hotel. And just by looking at the report, they're like, this is greenwash. They're full of it. Because they put so much effort into saying how good they are and being sustainable and eco-friendly that it was clear as day that they really didn't believe it.
I think car company Volkswagen did the same thing.
Oh,
and they went to.
Let's not get started on Volkswagen.
Yeah, they did the same
That's just a travesty. Especially when it was a brand that I really, really liked. And then I feel like, yeah, it's painful. It's painful. But the hotels that truly believe in being eco-friendly, they're not putting it on billboards. You know, the businesses, the companies, the people behind hospitality that truly believe in these things, they don't have to advertise it because people just know. It's evident. So when you see the big billboard saying how great we are and being good to Mother Earth, it's usually the flag that says, the red flag that suggests that they probably really aren't. You know, the hotel that puts a lot of effort and stock in the fact that they won't change your towels if you ask them to, that's so minimal, it's almost not worth mentioning. I'll give you an example. There's the Korakia or the Korakia, which is in Palm Springs, California. During the hot part of the season, it gets up to 120 degrees. It is incredibly hot. It gets so hot that people just leave the town because it's too hot. They spray water into the air, not very eco, but they do it anyway. And so we stayed at one hotel, and they did that thing with the towels. Like, we're great to Mother Earth, yet they're feeding you bottles of water left and right. And I tried 3 times to get them to stop replacing our towels. I put the sign on the door, they kept replacing them. I asked the housekeeper in the hallway, they kept replacing them. I went to the front desk, they still kept replacing them. Yet they said that we're very eco-friendly, and if you tell us, we won't change your towels. Okay, so that's total greenwashing. That's how a lot of them operate. Because it's hard to change their behavior if they're used to doing it. And if they didn't change the towels out, then it's, 1, they're using less energy from using the washing machines. 2, less energy from folding and transporting and all that. It's just, it goes on and on. The Korakia, however they pronounce it, I like saying Korakia, literally less than a mile away, there's a binder on all the things that they do for the environment. And it's not that they're advertising it from a billboard, but it's a guide for the guests when they stay there so that they don't violate some of the things that they're trying to do. They don't allow bottles of water on the premises. They provide you with a Brita filter, and they will refill this container for you. They don't wash the towels unless you absolutely need it. And so on and so on and so on. It's clear as day what their belief system is. And that's why guests want to stay there, because they identify with that identity that they have. You know, they're inspiring. And so there's a lot that we can learn from in terms of Simon Sinek. There's a lot of roles that you are all going to play in terms of different hospitality venues that can be inspiring. One of the first things I said to you when we had our first class was, I want you to be hospitality ambassadors. And when I say that, I mean that I want you to be inspiring to others. You're going to be in places where people around you are not doing the good things. They're not doing the right things. They're not taking care of the customer, the guest, whatever you want to call them. And you're doing things as an organization that aren't right. You may not be in a position that has a title, but you do have a responsibility to say something and to do something. Because otherwise, the whole industry fails in some respect. So I want you to keep that in mind. Your assignment for next class is to look for examples of bad hospitality. So you've been spending this time on Twitter identifying good hospitality. I want you to look for the things that stop you from going in the door, okay? Bad visuals in terms of awnings and signage and everything else. Or you go into a restaurant and the host or hostess doesn't even look at you and you just don't feel welcome and so you leave. It could be bad packaging, it could be bad social media, it could be bad website, it could be any of those things.
It's going to be in the writing.
Yes, you're going to write on one page, single-spaced. Okay, just identify the venue and tell me why you feel that they have bad hospitality marketing. And it's not just one thing, it could be a number of things. The reality is if a venue, and I say venue, like restaurant, bar, lounge, something like that. If one thing isn't working for them, there's probably a few things that aren't working for them because clearly they're not paying attention to that. And some things lead into other things. If you don't know what your message is, then there's a bad message everywhere. If you don't care about your visuals, then there's probably a lot of examples of things that just don't work. Okay? So keep your eyes out, fill that out, post that to Blackboard, and we're going to talk about it in the next class. All right, everybody?
And how many accounts do you have to do?
You tweet 3 times a week. All right?
It's a good sentence.
Hmm?
It's a good sentence, right?
I did. Bye, everybody.
Bye.